Portales, New Mexico, right here in Roosevelt County in New Mexico. My name is Ron Gunner, and I'm taking the place of TJ Miracle as he is doing a game in Goddard tonight, as we have the Lovington Wildcats going to be going up against hosting, of course, will be Portales, and that'll be the Rams, of course. So this will be the final district game, not of the season, but the final district series of the season as these two face off. First one is going to be today. Tomorrow's going to be two more, and that will be in Lovington, New Mexico, of course.
Number 9, Ethan Gonzalez. Number 22, Josiah Wana. Number 14,
so as we get the lineups, we're going to get those in a second. We'll talk about what's going on with the teams. Starting off with Portales Rams, they are ranked number 2 in the 4A. They have a record of 3-14. 0-6 is their district, and 0-5 is the record they have at home for Nick Schiffner. As they go along, of course, we'll talk about the lineup for the Portales Rams first, followed by your Lovington, New Mexico Wildcats. We have for pitcher, it'll be Elijah Tellez will be first, followed by Thomas Salgado, and he's going to be playing first base. Actually, that'll be first, not first, but Tellez is going to be pitching. That's what I should say. Adam Duran is going to be in shortstop, batting third, along with Texas Loscombe. Is going to be at third base. Going to be Caden Parrish in right field, and be Ridogila Hogan at catcher. Going to be Jacoby Banforth in the left field slot. It'll be Truett Price will be playing second. Morgan Novak will be at center. And it'll be Angel Gutierrez as well. I do believe he's going to be the designated hitter. Nevertheless, there's the lineup for the 3-14 Rams coming in today, and they have a 3-game winning streak against this team. Basically, they just swept them last season, and it was last season before that. That was 2 seasons ago. That was when Lovington swept Portales. So that was back-to-back sweeps, and I'm sure that Lovington will like to get back into the winning side as they have still, stinging a little bit still from that Artesia series just last week. Of course, it was also slowed down by the hailstorm that hit on Friday. So we have for Lovington, of course, they're number 14. They are the Wildcats at 11-12, 1-5 in district, and 4-game losing streak. They would like to end that one. 5-7 though on the road, so they can get 1 game back and get 6-7 if they win tonight for Christian Cruz.
Starting pitcher. First to bat, number 17, Elijah Tellez.
So for the other side, for Lovington, let's go ahead and talk about their lineup as we have it today. We'll be starting off the second baseman, and that is going to be Jayden Gutierrez, followed by left field, and that is going to be Ryan Weezer, senior. Oh, and by the way, that is Gutierrez, who is a junior this year. We have Mike Pondo going to be at catcher again. He is a senior. Got number 23, Juan Spadovia, and he is a junior. Going to be next in lineup in the 5th spot for the bat will be Sanchez, and that is going to be Patrick Sanchez, the senior. Going to be playing first base. Pacindo Lujan will be next, number 19, and he is going to be, the junior will be at right field. Number 1, Cam Ochia, and that he's going to be in center field. And going to be number 10, Auden Paredes, who's going to be pitching today. And Paredes is a sophomore. Oh, yeah. Cam is a senior. And then last but not least, Jude Madrid, he's going to be in at, the sophomore is going to be for, actually, no, sorry, not sophomore. 8th grader will be playing shortstop. Have the national anthem. Be back in a moment right here. All right, looks like we're going to get a start a little bit early. Start time is at 5 o'clock. We're at about at 4:57. Looks like the first pitch is going to be 2 minutes early at 4:58. So thank you very much for being here as we are once again in Portales, New Mexico. And this is Ron Gunner filling in for TJ Miracle. We've got Tiff at the station making sure that this is going through, and so far so good is what I've been told. So we will continue on with this coverage right here as first coming up, of course, being the visiting side will be your Lovington Wildcats coming up, and that'll be, first up is Gutierrez. Let's see what his numbers show for him so far this season, as he has a .309 batting average, has had 17 runs off of 17 hits, has 16 runs off of 21 hits, and is at 13 RBI with 3 doubles and a triple. No home runs, but does have 1 walk and 9 strikeouts. Not been hit by a pitch so far this season. So let's see what he can do with his bat first as we get this thing started, of course, right here in Portales, New Mexico. And this is going to be one game, and then tomorrow, or the next day, let's see, let me make sure that's correct. Yes, indeed, on the 2nd, that is tomorrow, it'll be a doubleheader in Lovington against these two squads. Now, of course, it is fair to say that both teams have the advantage or disadvantage because of the double being tomorrow and today being a single. But they both have to have the same kind of rest as well. And Lovington has to travel back tonight and Portales in the morning. So nevertheless, it should be pretty much fair as we're about to get underway for this Game 1 in Portales against the Rams versus the Wildcats. The first one's going to be delivered, and it is going to go over to shortstop, actually, and be a 6-3 for that first out. And that was quick, as it was Duran who got it over Salgado without any hitches. So 6-3 and 1 out already as we are already underway. Thank you very much for being here as we continue the coverage for the Lovington Wildcats. Delivery and on the mark for strike 1 as it goes across without being swung on. So 1-0 is the count, or sorry, 0-1 is the count. And 1 out, nobody on. That one's going to get a little high and gets delivered to right field. Looks like it's going to be caught, and it was. Nicely done by Caden Parrish for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for the Lovington squad early on in this game.
Up next, number 12, Mike Pondo.
And so next is coming up will be the catcher, Mike Pondo. To see what he can do. Mike has, let's see if we can get his numbers before he gets out or on base. 612 is what he's hitting, so very nicely. Has had 30 hits, 8 runs, had 29 RBI as that one goes across for ball 1. So continuing on, let's see, he's got 8 doubles, 4 triples, and 5 home runs. We'd like to get number 6 here as that one goes across, just a little low for the ball. Also has 7 walks and just one strikeout for the season. Very nice. Maybe that's the reason why he's got a 612 average. Hits this one, and that's going to be a clunker as it just goes over to short, but will be rallied in time to be able to get that out for the 6-3 once again. Looking at Duran getting that ball off the ground and delivering it over to Salgado for the 3rd out. So that was 3 up, 3 down, nobody on, nobody left on base as well, and no runs come across. As we go to the bottom of the 1st already, we've got the game at 0-0. Come back in just a moment for more as we cover on Lovington and the network. All right, we are back as we get underway here in a moment with our first batter going to be the pitcher, Elijah Tellez. So once again, for your for the defense for Lovington, it's going to be Paredes at pitching, to Pondo catching. Sanchez at first, going to be Gutierrez at second. Third will be Sepulveda. And then Madrid will be at shortstop, followed by Weezer at left, Cam Ochoa at center, and Lujan at right. Here we go once again. Like I said, Elijah Tellez going to be first to bat. That one's going to be high and outside for ball one. And Elijah has been sporting some good numbers. 347 is his batting average. 17 hits, 13 runs. He's got 9 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples. He hits this one already, and it's going to go to right field and be caught nicely. He was able to get underneath. It was Lujan. Sorry, not Lujan. No, that is Lujan. So it is Lujan who got underneath that one quickly for out number one. So one down, as coming up next is going to be Tommy Salgado. Let's see what Tommy's got for 342 for his batting average this season. First one goes across, and that'll be a strike. So 0-1 is the count right now for Salgado. Salgado is playing at first base today. Quickly with another delivery. Inside, and that'll be a ball. Ball one. 1-1 is the count right now. So for Thomas, he's got 13 hits and 13 runs, 8 RBI, 4 doubles. He's also got 11 walks and 12 strikeouts with 5 hit by pitch. And that one goes across for the ball. So 2-1 is the count right now on the second batter in the bottom of the first. Score still 0-0. That one goes outside for ball 3. So expect to see a strike possible, or maybe a inside just enough to see if he'll chase. Nevertheless, here we go. Paredes with the delivery, and it's going to find it at the top for strike. So we got a full count at 3-2. Paredes pitching as this one goes across, and goes across without a swing, and a strike is going to be dialed up. That'll be the second out, first strikeout of the game for Paredes. And for Paredes, this is his. He's got a 5-1 record. 3.10 is his ERA. He's got 29.1 coming into the game. Innings pitched with 33 hits allowed, 18 runs, 13 ER as he throws next. A little high for ball one. That one's going to be to the shortstop, Adam Duran. Here we go with another throw, and that'll be outside as well for Duran, and Duran is up 2-0. Gets bad sometimes when you actually have to look to see, make sure you're saying Duran right. Well, I thought about it for a second. I'm like, oh, I know how to say Duran. So 10 walks and 27 strikeouts. That'll be number 28 just a moment ago for Paredes, as that one goes across for a strike. So 2-1 is the count right now, as we are in a cloudless day here in Portales, New Mexico. Nice and sunny as well. Sun off to our left, our right actually, as getting out for a time will be Duran. So the count now 3-1 still. Goes across, and that'll be a strike to even it up, or not even it up, but make it a full count once again to 3-2. So second time the count has gone to full. Let's see if Paredes is going to deliver another one across the middle for a strike. Crowding the bat and getting a swing on that one, misses, and that is going to be strike 3. 3 up and 3 down for Portales, and the Rams leave nobody on as they get no hits, no runs, no errors. We're going to go to the top of the second, and it'll be 0-0. And it'll be Lovington coming up to bat next right here on the Lovington Network, whether it be on the Lee County Sports and Network, or News and Sports, or on, I believe it's on KZOR, but actually I think the girls softball game is on there. But I do know that we're on Lee County News and Sports. Be back in just a moment. All right, we're back to action. Thank you very much for being here as we are at the top of the second right now. Score is tied at 0, and coming up to bat next is going to be Juan Sepulveda.
Up to bat, number 23, Juan Sepulveda.
As he has getting underway, it's going to be, oh, that's right. Get that off there and get back to the scoring. Let's see what Juan does with the first one. Goes low. Nice eye as it was ball 1. So Juan's got a .379 batting average, has 22 hits and 15 runs, also has 15 RBIs, a double, 10 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 2 hit by pitch. That one gets hit to the left this time around, finds the gap, and gets in front of, that'll be Bamforth, Jacoby Bamforth, one of 2 of Bamforth's that'll be possibly playing today. So that was a nice single to start it all off for Sepulveda. And coming up next is going to be the first baseman. That is going to be Patrick Sanchez, senior. That one's going to be a little off to the outside, but swung on and missed anyway, Sanchez, and that'll be strike number 1. Speaking of Sanchez, let's see, looks like he has a .309 batting average with 17 hits, 17 runs, 8 RBI, and 2 doubles. And this one's going to be hit hard. Going to get over the head of, looks like that is Duran, and going into the outfield. So a nice single on that one too. So 2 singles to start off this inning. They are going to get 2 runners. That'll be Sepulveda at second. And first will be Sanchez. So Facindo Lujan coming up next. He is playing at right field. He had a moment ago where he caught one of those outs. And he is hitting .277 as he hit this one right away off the end of the bat, and it's going to be a pop-up flyout in center. That's usually what happens when you hit it on the end of the bat, unfortunately. I believe the runners did get back in time. Actually, no, he did steal. And after tagging up, got back and got to third. So it is Sepulveda at third and Sanchez at second with 1 out. So Cam Ochoa is coming up next. He is playing center field. .304 batting average, 14 hits, 13 runs, 8 RBI, 2 triples, and has 8 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 1 hit by pitch as he's got 2 on with 1 out on the corners. They're going to go ahead and steal first, and looks like he is safe as he slid right in there. It is Sanchez, and not taking advantage of that was Sepulveda, who could have taken home, but stayed where he's at. So first pitch came across as a ball. And it is 1 out, 2 on now, second and third as that one goes outside for the ball. So now it is 2-0. Cam wanting to see if he can get an RBI or two, and if he does get a double, he will definitely get 2 RBIs. He hits this one over too short, and will be rallied over to first in time, but not before Spoboda does get across for 1 run. So out number 2 on a fielder's choice, as Cam was able to advance the runners, and Sanchez now at third. So 1 on, 2 outs, and coming up next is going to be Auden Paredes. Now Auden has had, let's see, what has he got for his batting average? 407, not bad too, and that one goes across though for a strike. Nicely placed, looked like it just clipped the corner of the zone. So Paredes has 22 hits, 13 runs, as that one goes across a little wide for the ball. 1-1, as it is 15 RBI, 7 doubles, and 10 walks, 14 strikeouts, and 1 hit by pitch for the pitcher. And hit, and will be, I thought it was fair, but third base is acting like it's foul, and that's what it's going to be called as, foul. Just off a little bit to the right. Must have been right before, going across before it got to the third base bag. So it'll ring up a strike. And we've got 1 and 2 now. So that looks like that was a foul ball. It was. So count stays at 1 and 2. On deck will be Madrid. That one goes outside. Will be a wild throw, and looks like it's going to score Sanchez, and it does. He was in long before the throw was going to get there. And now it is 2-0 Lovington on the top of the second with 2 outs, leading this one against the Rams. So Paredes with still a 1-2 count. This time around, 2 outs, nobody on. High, and man, that dropped in for the strike 3, and that'll be strike number 1 for, that'll be Tellez. So 3 outs on this one in the inning, but not before we get 2 hits, 2 runs, and nobody left on base with no errors as well. We go to the bottom of the second, and it is a 2-0 game. The Rams coming up next to bat. We'll be right back here on Lee County News and Sports as well on the Lovington Network. Be back in a moment. All right, we go getting back into it.
Number 11, Alex Luscombe.
And it is Alex Luscombe who's coming up next. He is the third baseman today so far as Alex comes up against Paredes. And it is Alex who has got the 205 batting average today, or from the season, or for the season, I should say. As that one first run goes across and will be the ball. So, not sure if it's going to happen the same way, but 3 up and down, 3 down on the first inning for both sides, as Luscombe has 8 hits, 6 runs, has 7 RBI, 3 doubles, and 8 walks. That one goes across for the ball as well, so ball 2. So 2-0. He is ahead of the count right now. Bettis, though, going to deliver again to Pondo, and it is outside for ball 3. So just getting started on the bottom of the second. Nobody out, nobody on, and it is going to be Luscombe who is trying to see what he can do with his bat. Oh, really far out that time. So ball 4 on that one. Easy decision, as nobody would swing on that one. So walk. And Caden Parrish coming up next. He is playing at right field. And Caden, let's see his numbers real quick. 286, as he has 12 hits, 7 runs, 8 RBI, 2 doubles, and 2 triples with 1 home run. That swings that one, hits nothing. Nice cut, but a little early, I believe, as that one goes across for the strike. So 0-1, 1 on, nobody out. As they go ahead and steal, that was an early, quick takeoff for Luscombe. And he gets to second, no problem. He was already halfway there when the ball was delivered. So took advantage of that. Meanwhile, that pitch, that throw was a ball. So 1-1 is the call right now, as Luscombe's at second. Look back, and he's going to go ahead and throw. Hit this one, but it'll be foul to the left of us as it goes towards the parking lot. So we've got 1-2 right now for the count. Right fielder going to try again as he continues to have an opportunity. Hits this one up the middle in the gap. Looks like it's going to go to the outfield and be picked up by Cam. And we'll put runners on the corners, as that was a nice single. So a single there puts him at first and third, and Holguin is going to be coming up next. He is the catcher. And Holguin has been hitting just 158, has had 3 hits, no runs, 1 RBI, been walked 3 times, struck out 6, and has been hit by a pitch twice. So possibly to tie the game. Tying run at first right now for Portales. First one goes across for the ball. So the Rams trying to see if they can get out of a bit of a slump to 8-game losing streak right now. It looks like he's going to go ahead and try to bunt, because that's what he's showing anyway. Oh, and a bad decision as they throw to first. It gets away from first baseman and goes ahead and causes the runners to advance, and that'll mean 1 run will score. Luscombe comes across to cut the lead in half, 2-1, as it is still up to bat with 1 ball. Going to be Holguin. So Parrish at second, off the steal. It should be more like a throwing error, but nevertheless, though, actually, I guess it is a throwing error, as that one goes foul back. It will not change the count. So 2-1 or 1-2 is the count right now. That one's going to go outside for. Actually, that's right. The count changed. It is now 2-1. Still thinking about the last one that hit finally. Swung on and missed on that one. Nice cut. No connection though. 2-2 now is all tied up. So looking back at second once again, checking it out, not throwing there, and going to go ahead and throw to the batter. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3, and that's the third strikeout actually for Paredes. So there's 2 outs now with 1 on, and Jacoby Bamforth coming up next. No, actually, sorry. 1 out. I was thinking for a second. No, actually, I'm misleading you on that one. As that one goes across, that'll be a strike. Down the pike for a strike, as it said. So Bamforth has got a 158 average. As he goes and talks to his coach, it is 3 hits, 5 runs, 2 RBI. Has a double with 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. Also has been hit by pitch once. So both sides taking a bit of a timeout. Pondo talking to his pitcher, Paredes. And now Bamforth back on there once again. 0-1. So 1 on and 1 out for Bamforth. As Bam on that one goes in, but it's going to be shallow. Looks like it'll be the shortstop who's going to be able to get it, and he does. And of course, that is going to be Madrid, who gets over and gets that one with out number 2.
Up next to bat, number 7, Truett Price.
So that's shallow hit though, but still 1 on with 2 out, and it is Trent Price, or Truett Price, who was up next for the Rams. And for Price, he's got a 182 batting average. So that one goes and hits it quickly, a little high as it goes into right territory, and easy catch for Lujan to end that inning with 1 on and 1 coming across for a score. Let's see, we had 1 hit and 1 error. So 1-1-1-1, and we go to the top of the 3rd. It is now a 2-1 game with Lovington up by 1. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Lee County News and Sports. All right, we are back as it is the top of the 3rd inning, and it is going to be Madrid, June Madrid, the shortstop, coming up next. The bottom of the order for the Wildcats. It is 2-1, Lovington in the lead right now, as they scored those 2 in the 2nd. That one flies across for the ball as it goes low. So ball 1. It's been nice action so far, quick on both sides. That one goes across, and it's going to be, well, not foul, it'll be a ball and a wild pitch, but nobody on base, so no worries. No harm, no foul, as they say. Nevertheless, though, 2-0. Tellez getting back into it, going to deliver and swing on and missed, and that is going to be foul back to the right of us towards, again, the parking lot. Luckily, I think it's just far enough, though, that should not be a problem for cars. Of course, you never know. It does get over that little netting in front of the, or behind, as that one also goes foul, high and foul. And then it'll put it back at 2-2. So nobody on, no outs, and count for 2-2 for Madrid. June Madrid hits this one foul as well. No change count, in the count. And it's Madrid who is hitting 265, 16 runs, 13 hits, 14 RBI, 5 doubles, has a home run as well as 13 walks, 17 strikeouts, and 3 hit by pitch. And not quite getting there, but at least making contact as he is still behind on the throw. But that was foul as well. Out of play, and will continue at 2-2. For the most part, it just really just adds to the pitch count for Tellez. Sends it across, swing and a miss, and that'll be strikeout number 3 for him. As the bottom of the order strikes out for out number 1, and that is going to be the second strikeout for Tellez. And let's see, how many had he had beforehand? Because Tellez came in with 357, 17.2 innings pitched. 21 hits were allowed, 18 runs, 9 ER, and 13 walks, 13 strikeouts as well. So he's had 2 more. That makes 15 as that first one goes across for the strike, as we're at the top of the order for Gutierrez. Gutierrez is hitting 309, had coming in here 21 hits for 16 runs, 13 RBIs, as he gets that one delivered for ball 3. Is that right? Yeah, that was ball 1, but either way. Low. And that'd be ball 2. So 2-1 is the count right now. That one's going to be hit right to short. Once again, is able to deliver it over to first, and that is going to be out number 2. As it goes for the 6-3.
Up next to bat, number 2, 22, Josiah Guana.
That's Ryan Weiser. Or Weezer, I mean, Ryan Weezer. Yeah, it's top of the order now. And when all else, I just checked the number, and that was definitely number 1, or 2, I mean. As that one is to get hits, and it goes to the right, center right, and will be hitting the gap as well. He's going to stretch it out to 2, and he does. Standing double for Weezer. So that was a nice hit as, oh, that's what it is. There we go, I think. That had it on the top of the 3rd, now I do. So we've got 1 on, no outs. Coming up next is going to be Pondo.
Number 12, up to bat, Mike Pondo.
And the second baseman is going to see what he can do. He got a infield out the first time around. I'd like to get that, I'd get Weezer up and running and getting him in for an RBI. As that one is hit quickly to right field and will be caught. And that's right, that is me out number 3. Oh, that was right. So, yep, I went ahead, but nevertheless, though, hit to right field for the fly out. So that means that 1 was left on. As no runs come across, we had 1 hit, I believe. Yes, indeed, that was a double. And no errors. 1 left again on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and I already had gotten there. So 2-1 is the score. Lovington still in the lead as we come back in a moment right here on the Lee County News and Sports. All right, we are back to action as we are in the bottom of the third and still in the lineup. First round up for the Rams, but soon to be into the second for the lineup is going to be the center fielder, Morgan Novak. Last at bat, actually, the last one in the. Oh, and that actually looked like it hit just the very small of the bat as he was trying to get a bunt. Instead, we'll get the foul call. So 0-1 is the count right now for Novak. He has got, for a batting average of 171, has had 3 hits with 4 runs, 9 RBI, 2 doubles, a triple, and 16 as he fouls that one off as well for number 2. So 16 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 3 hit by pitch. As the senior tries again. So 0-2. Perez ahead of the count. Gets that one to go across, and yes, it did. It sunk nicely and found that strike for out number 1.
Up next to bat, number 17.
So that'll be Perez with 1 strikeout in every inning so far, and that adds up to 3. Top of the order now is going to be Elijah Tellez, the pitcher. He's going to hit this one quickly over to third. Will be rallied over to first, and that's going to be the stretch and to get it out in time for the 5-3. Hit right over to, that would be Sepulveda, and he was able to rally it over to Sanchez for the out on number 2. So quickly with 2 outs, and
up next to bat, number 8.
it is looking good so far for Paredes. Paredes once again with a 3.10 ERA. Time out by the ump. So coming up next, Tommy Salgado. That's going to be hit quickly, and it'll be just in front of the left fielder. And that is going to be Weezer. So able to knock that in for a hit, a single to first.
Number 23, Adam Duran.
So with Adam Duran coming up, the shortstop, he is going to be, of course, he's been doing a lot too in the defensive side. He's going to see what he do with 2 outs and 1 on, 1 at first with the bottom of the third. Outside, trying to check the runner, and as he dives back, does not throw to first. So 1-0. A little closer to the strike zone, but not quite. Still checking, keeping an eye on that first base runner. Of course, that is me, Salgado. 2 outs, 1 more, and that would end the inning. Of course, that's what Paredes would like to do. Keep his count down, too. Delivers that one outside once again. Still testing and not getting anybody to bite, so now the count is at 3-0. So I expect to see something either inside or a strike. As it is once again Pondo who is given the signals. Does go outside for ball 4, and will walk him to get runners at first and second.
Up next to bat, number 11, Alex Luscombe.
Let's see, I believe that is going to be the first walk for Paredes. As Alex Luscombe comes up next. He had a walk. Actually, no, that's just proving myself wrong. I didn't see that one. So that's the second walk issued. Luscombe was the first, was able to get to score. That's the only score so far in this game for the Rams. As Luscombe has a 205 batting average. That one goes and gets swung on and missed for strike 1. So runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here we go, another one outside. Not sure exactly if he's trying to get somebody to run to get the out or what's going on, but nevertheless, though, we've got a count of 1-1. looks at second. Didn't really have a throw. Luckily, he didn't do that. It could have been in the outfield, and that may have been, that would have probably advanced the runner to third. Looks back to second once again. Delivers and is fouled back for strike two. It looks like it is Gutierrez going over there occasionally to just keep the runner honest as it goes over to second from time to time. So Jaden Gutierrez, this junior, helping out. Now it's going to be swung on a little high, and it's going to be fouled. It's going to be catchable. Looks like it could be in it. No, actually he did. He could have caught it, but did not get the right area for the glove. And it instead of hitting it in the glove, it bounced off the glove and hit the ground. And that may have been a sun issue, although it is behind him. The sun is behind him, so never know what exactly that caused that. But nevertheless, keeps the count at 1-2. Would have been an easy third out. So Paredes with runners on first and second still. Big lead off for first. There's nobody on first, so there's no need to check it as he throws. Swing and a miss on that one. And it'll be strike number 3 for Luscombe. So that'll be number 4 for Paredes, as it does leave 2 stranded. And that was off of 1 hit. Nobody comes across. And it is all tied up with no errors. Sorry, not tied up. It is 2-1 still as we go to the top of the 4th. Lovington coming up next with their bats, and we'll be back in a moment right here on Lee County News and Sports. All right, Juan once again coming up for Lovington as we're in the top of the 4th. And it is Tellez who is throwing for the Rams. So far doing a pretty good job, as it is still just 2-1. 2 runs in the second. This one gets across and it'll be foul for strike number 1. Juan was able to get a hit in the the second inning, and that was one of the 2 that had scored for the Lovington Wildcats. Hit this one just back to the pitcher, and we'll go into the outfield for a single. So that's the second single in a row for Spadovita, as he gets on base for the second time as well in this game. Maybe that's one of the reasons also why he's got such a great batting average of, I believe, 379. So that's pretty good. So coming up next in the top of the 4th, as we have 1 on, nobody out, Sanchez, and that'll be Patrick Sanchez. Patrick takes that first one for a strike. So no change on that. As he hits this one back, 0-2 now for the count. So man, my tongue can't talk for a second. Spadovita at first. Wanting to see if he can get further into second. Just a bit outside for that one, ball 1. So now we have a count of 1-2. And that one's going to be hit right back to the pitcher, Tellez. And then it's going to be a single as well as it gets into the outfield. And again, taken care of by Novak. There's a grounder up the middle on that one too. And all of a sudden, 2 on, nobody out. And Facindo Lujan coming up next. Last time he hit to center, or just off center for the fly ball for out number 1. First one's going to go across for a strike. So once again, Patrick hitting at .309, 17 hits and 17 runs. Hits this one, and it goes into the gap up the center once again. They're hitting it nicely up the center so far in this game as it goes to Novak. Novak rallies it over to the catcher. Actually, he's going to go ahead and try to steal second, and that in turn is going to steal home, and he's going to go ahead and get that one as well, even though the throw was there but could not catch it. And so instead, it's going to be 2 steals and ended up being a single. So a single for that with 2 RBI due to the steals, and that will advance the runners. That'll get them 2.
Up next to bat, number 1, Cam Ochoa.
I feel like I missed something there. Let's see. So was it 3? No, it was just 2. So 2 up. As Cam comes up next. So I know Lujan is at second off that single with 2 RBI. First one goes across for the ball. And there are still no outs. It goes back to second, and that is in time as Lujan gets back to the base. Oh, I know what I did wrong now. Okay. So that's right, as that one goes. Okay. So now I get it. Count now is at 2-0. Bunted a little bit, looked like a small swing either way. It gets him to first, and yeah, first base was offline. Got back in time, but couldn't quite catch the ball, and Sanchez wasn't able to get that tag out, as it was Ocha who was able to get first on a single and advance Lujan to third. Dang it, did it again. There we go. So it was Sanchez who also scored as well earlier. And it's keeping the ball, or keeping the bases going as runners on the corner right now. First and third coming up next is going to be Auden Paredes. And a steal on second. And he is safers. So Cam is at second now. And Paredes still with a count of, well, hasn't gotten a throw yet. So concern is, as it was Hogan who just talked to Tellez. And now back to the batter with runners at second and third now. This one's going to be hit deep enough. It looks like, actually, nope, just foul. It looked like it was fair for a second, but just barely snuck over to the foul side for a strike call. Or as somebody would say, probably close, but no cigar. So a very long strike on that one. So it is the pitcher versus pitcher. Perez with 0-1 for the count. Swung on as it was a bit outside and caught a piece of it. Foul for strike number 2. Jude being helpful and getting the ball over to the ump. So 0-2 is the count. Hits this one this time left foul. Keeps the count at 0-2. So far 2 runs have come across. No outs though. We've got runners at second and third, both of them in scoring position for, at the current time, the winning pitcher right now, Perez. Hit, and it's going to be a dribbler bounce over to second and a rally to first, and that'll be in time, but not before. It is going to be Lujan to score. So he gets an RBI off of that one as he gets the first out as well for the 4-3. So coming up next, the shortstop, Jude Madrid. Coming up next, he had struck out last time. And with 1 on now and 1 out. Got a 5-1 game right now, and that first one goes across for the ball. So there we go, 1-0 for the count. Tejas has got that one for a strike. So now it's kind of 1-1. Still have 1 in scoring position. That is going to be Cam, who stole second a moment ago. That one goes across, nicely done. Finds the zone, and it is now 1-2. So Madrid with down on the count. Does hit this one, but over to short, and will rally that to first in time for out before the run comes across. So 1 left on base as we get, that'll be 2 hits and 4 runs come across. Let me double check the hit count on that.
Up next to bat, number 4, Ethan Gonzalez.
Oh, that's right, that's just 2 outs. Trying to make it 3. All right, so 2 outs and not quite done yet as 1 does come across. So that'll be 6-1. So that was another RBI for Madrid with the second out. And that one's going to be hit, oh, wow, to the left, just over the head of, that would be Bamforth and Jacoby. And it was, turns out it was Novak who threw it to third. And not in time, so it is Gutierrez who stretches that out to 3. That's a triple for him. And we're still in the top of the 4th. So with 2 outs now and 1 on at third once again, it is going to be Weezer who's going to see what he can do. He got a double last time up. Just outside for the ball. So 1-0 is the count right now. We've had 4 runs come across once again for Lovington. Swung on, hit, and it goes foul back to the backdrop. Stop. 1-1 is the count. Let's see what we have for the Jal-Dora game in the first of 2. It was Jal who was able to get that one as that one goes wild. It looks like it's going to be a throw in, and nope. Could not be caught by Tejas, and it will be another score for Lovington as that was a wild pitch. That scores Gutierrez. So 7-1 right now with a 6-run lead. And it is still Weezer. Weezer hit this one as he had a 2-1 count. And he it's on as it went up the middle. So another single for Weezer. He had a double and a single this time.
Up next, number 12, Mike Pondo.
So Pondo is going to be the final one of the order before we go back and repeat again with Spadovia if we get that far. And a throw, and that's going to be a steal attempt. And easily done as he got a big leadoff was Weezer. And Weezer is at second now. So 2 outs, Weezer on second base, and it is going to be Pondo with ball number 1. Gets back in time for that throw to second. So safe at second is Weezer. Boing, boing. So looks back again, delivers a little high, and that'll be a wild pitch, and that'll, of course, get Weezer to third. So he's been enjoying those, as that's going to be ball 2. So 2-0. And just outside for 3-0. So Tellez is struggling a little bit right now as it has been 5 runs come across so far, and that's going to be a strike. That one found the corner as I say that. And we've got 3-1. So third time up is going to make Pondo, who flew out to right this time, go ahead and get the count to full with that foul ball. Actually, he has not been on base so far with a 6-3 infield out in the first. And a pop fly over to right field as that one gets hit. And it's going to be a grounder to right field, and that is definitely going to be an RBI single for him. As he says, challenge accepted. And now to put Sepulveda, who started off this inning and was able to get a single to start it off as well. Wants to see what he can do with the bat once again. This is going to be his third time up. So with Sepulveda on, actually with Sepulveda on at bat, 1 on, 2 outs though. Yeah, there is another one. Okay, that's right. Pondo once again has to go back, and he does, so he's still safe. And Sepulveda ready for that first pitch. Looks back once again. Oh, a wild pitch, and I think he was going to go anyway because he was already halfway there when the pitch started. And Pondo will get the stolen base off the wild pitch to get to second base. Meanwhile, the count is at 1-0. So 1-0 the count for Pondo. As things are going swimmingly in the 4th inning for the Wildcats. They're scratching their way up, getting more runs. That time, though, went across for the strike as Sepulveda watched it go by. Pondo at second. That one goes outside. Pondo thought about stealing again, but did not. Went back, and I think that was a smart move. As it goes to 2-1 for the count. (8-1) right now is the score. That one gets hit up the middle once again, finds the gap in center, and that looks like it'll be mishandled. Did not Pondo did not go to home like he could have, but that's all right. First and third are covered now, as that is another hit. Third one for, that is Sepulveda.
Patrick Sanchez.
I guess Pondo over to third, and coming up next is going to be Patrick Sanchez. Sanchez playing first base today, as he has a 309 coming into this game. Swung on and missed on that one, strike one. Sanchez had a single in the last one, was able to score. Actually, that was in this inning, so he's up twice now. He's also, so he's had two singles in the second and the fourth inning, and of course, we're still in the fourth. I'm talking to the players over there for Lovington. Gets back to it, and it is 0-1 for the count. Tried to get a pick off, and instead, looks like they got the out before. Or actually, let's see. Yeah, that should have been third out. Coach, though, saying stay where you're at. As we had a conference about that, is that going to be a third out, or is that going to be a run coming in off the steal attempt? Nope, looks like he was caught before he got back to the bag. And that means that'll be out number 3. But the damage definitely was done, as looks like we rung up 7 hits actually. It was 7 hits. We had 6 runs come across, 1 left, actually none left on base. No, 1 left on base. And no errors. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, after that long one, it is now 6 o'clock. We're in the bottom of the fourth. We've got a game now of 8-1. With the Rams coming up next, 7 down. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on Lee County News and Sports.
Number 10, Caden Parrish.
All right, Caden Parrish up next. He is the right fielder for the Rams today. As we see what he can do with the bat as he gets up second time. Was on with a single last time up. Swung on and missed on that time for strike 1. Also advanced to second off an error throw. The Rams in a hole right now, 7 down as that one goes across for the strike. So it is Parrish who is looking at an 0-2 count. Needs to protect the plate. Swung on and missed, and strike 3 on that one. Had a good cut, but just couldn't find anything, and that is going to be strikeout number 5 for Paredes. So coming up next with 7-run deficit, it is going to be Holguin with his second attempt. First time around, he struck out. Hit, and it does go fair, as it is Paredes who's going to get it over to first, but not in time, as it was unable to be caught in time by Sanchez. It's going to be a hit for Hogan. And coming up next will be Jacoby Bamforth, who had a infield out as he hit it over to shortstop. And Madrid was able to catch that one, no problem. So bottom of the fourth right now, we've got 1 out of a strikeout, the 5th one, and Paredes, that first one's going to be a ball. That's what it is. Swung on that one and thrown to first, and unfortunately it goes underneath the glove of Sanchez, and that means that error is going to once again advance a runner to second off a throw. The count goes 1-1. Try to catch him as he was off the bag. I don't think the throw would have been in time anyway, and it didn't look like it, but it did dribble below the glove once again. Now it goes to the right this time over to third, and also goes underneath Sepulveda's glove, but it is taken care of by the shortstop. That is Madrid. So nobody advances, but they do get a hit off of that one, and it'll be Bamforth at first and Hogan at second, or Holgen. So Truett Price coming up next, the second baseman, as they try to get something going on for the Rams in the bottom of the fourth with 1 out and 2 on, and that goes wide for the ball. Last time up, hit to center and was a fly out for him. It's 1-0 is the count right now. Got a nice crowd here. Swung on a miss a little early on that one, looked like, as it was swung on and strike one. Just a little high and outside for ball 2. The count right now 2-1 for Price. Looking back to second, going to go ahead and throw to Price. That is going to find the corner, go ahead and try to steal at third, and instead a bad throw. He's going to go ahead and steal for home as well as the runners advance. And we're going to have a run come across for the Rams, as that was a pinch runner. So it may have been, looked like it was Ethan Naharo, who is a junior. So he comes across, and Bamforth gets the third. So back to a 2-1 count for Price. And that's the price you pay sometimes when you're unable to catch that ball. It is going to be hit high, but shallow. And it's going to go over to shortstop, and he's going to be able to get that one, no problem, for Madrid. As that'll be out number 2.
Up next to bat, number 5, Morgan Novak.
So 2 out so far. Morgan Novak, bottom of the order for the Rams. Struck out last time, as he would like to get something again. He's got a runner in scoring position. Could get an RBI if he gets a single. But that is delivering another one. Going to be across the pike for a strike on that one. As once again, another look. Pondo with the signal. And it goes across as he swings and misses that one for strike number 2. Novak once again comes in on this one with a 171 batting average. 0-2 is the count, 1 on, 2 outs, and Paredes swung on and missed. And that is going to be 3 for him, and that'll be number 6, I believe. I want to make sure about that one. But Novak, though, goes down swinging, out number 3 with 1 on, as one does come across. Let's see how many hits they had. 2. So 2 hits, 1 run, 1 error as well. Actually, probably 2 errors, really, for 3 so far for the Lovington squad. But still just 1 comes across, and we are going to go to the top of the 5th with a 6-run lead. 8-2 is what we've got right here. And Lovington coming up with next with the bats, and, of course, Rams on defense. It's all happening right here on the Lee County News and Sports Network. All right, we are at the top of the 5th right now. We've got a game going on with Lovington as they're leading right now 8-2 over the Portales Rams. And coming up first for the top of the 5th will be Patrick Sanchez. So Patrick has had, let's see, he had a single in the last 2 at-bats. So this will be his 3rd one now. As putting up 6 in the 4th inning was Lovington, coming across and bouncing on that one for the first ball for Patrick. Like I said, Sanchez has scored twice off of 2 singles. That one goes across, though, and finds the pike for a strike. 1-1 is the count right now. I believe it is Tellez who is still on the mound for. Looks like it is. It is. Outside wild pitch, and that'll be ball 2. Oh, yeah. So Elijah still on the mound once again. Just wanted to confirm that it is. And he hits this one foul to the left. .71 count so far for Tellez. As Elijah delivers that once again for a foul, 2-2. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strikeout for Sanchez. Patrick, his first one of the game, and that will be the 4th so far for Elijah. So 1 out right now, and coming up next is going to be Facindo Lujan. Lujan had a single last time and flew out in 2nd. First one's going to go across for the ball. So delivery and outside once again. Did not chase that one, as it is going to be ball 2. 2-0 the count right now. So we have 1 out, nobody on for Lovington. Top of the 5th. Set for 7 as that one goes behind us now over our heads. It will be foul for 2-1 count. So for us, some of us, it's raining baseballs as the fouls continue to fly. That one goes across. Thought it was going to be a strike, but instead it does not get the call. So 3-1 is what we've got here for Facindo. Just outside, Lujan's going to walk, take his base to first. As Cam is going to be coming up next. He's playing center field. Looks like we may have some finals in Lee County sports. Let's see what we've got here. As Cam faces Elijah. First one's going to go. Try to get the pickoff once again. I wasn't able to. Lujan was able to get back in time. Once again, Jow softball. It was Jow being able to beat the beleaguered Dora team, who is 0-13 now. And that puts Jow 11-12, and it was 16-1 as that one gets hit deep to the left, center left actually, and it's going to be caught and no, dropped instead. Thought he had it for a moment was Jacoby, but instead could not hold on to the handle of it, and instead it'll be an error, E7 for the hit as Cam gets to second. Sorry, actually, Cam got first. I'm looking at Lujan, who is at second. So coming up next is Paredes, the pitcher. He's going to see what he can do to help his cause. So far, he is again still leading. And that one's going to be hit high, and looks like it can be fair. Will be towards second and will be caught by the shortstop. That'll be once again Duran. be out number 2.
Up next to bat, number 3, Jude Madrid.
So a pop up there on that one. Did not advance any runners either. Oh. That's right. This one gets hit quickly as it goes into center field. It will bounce before it gets picked up and thrown by Novak. Will also be a single, an RBI single for Madrid. As that will also advance Cam to third. So as Lujan is able to score once again, that's the second run put in.
Up next to bat, number 4, Jaden.
And with a 9-2 lead, starting to look at a 10-run situation with it being in the 5th. Top of the 5th though right now, it is a 9-2. That's a 7-run lead. Coming up next is going to be the top of the order. That'll be Gutierrez. Gutierrez takes the first one for a strike. So Gutierrez last time up has actually been on just once with a triple. That was the last at bat. Part of that big 4th inning. Steal, and going to go ahead and just let him go. Didn't want to chance it on the steal at home, and that was a smart move, I believe, as Madrid gets to second without being contested. Meanwhile, the count is now going to be 1-1. Yeah, didn't want to give up any more runs, and I think that was a smart move on the part of Hogan. As that one goes out, and that'll be Gutierrez sitting at 1-2. Nice little breeze. Can't see where it's coming from. Actually, it's coming in. So that is a pitcher's dream. Not much of a breeze, but still can hinder some home runs. As that one gets hit, grounded over to short. He's going to get it to first. Not in time, though. As looks like a runner comes across. That'll be that'd be Cam coming across. So that'll be another run. That'll be 10-2 now. 8-run lead, as that was a nice hit for Gutierrez. So Gutierrez at first, runners on the corner. Now we also have Jude at third. Hey, Jude. See if you can score, as this time up it's going to be Weezer once again. And Ryan, the senior, has had a single last time up. Did get to score in the 4th. Had a double in the 3rd and flew out in the 1st. So runners on the corners, and going to go ahead and steal. Get that one hit to center, and it should be easily done, and he does catch it. Novak gets that throw or pop-up fly out for out number 3. But the damage is done once again for Lovington Wildcats, as they get 1, 2 hits. They leave 1 on, no errors. Actually, maybe 1 error. We'll check. There was an error. And 2 come across. So we are at 10-2 right now, an 8-run difference. And coming up next to bat, of course, will be the Rams right here in Portales. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Mark Broadcasting Network. All right, we are back as Lovington ready to get on defense. Tellez coming up next, the pitcher, Elijah. This is third time up as we're going to the bottom of the fifth. First one goes across for the ball. He has had no luck being able to get on base so far. Swing and miss, and it's going to be foul for strike number one. Had an infield out with a 5-3 on the third, and the first he started off with a pop fly out to right field. That was caught by Lujan. Sitting about 85 pitches right now for Tellez. That one goes across for the ball. So it'll be 2-1 for the count. Meanwhile, Paredes doing a little bit better at 59 so far with his number 60th right there. And that goes across for the strike. 2-2 is the count as we're in the top of the fifth. Or sorry, bottom of the fifth. No outs. That one's hit, and it's going to be fair, maybe, just barely. No, just barely went out. I mean, it was right on the line. Once again, that's another time that could have been a hit, but instead just manages to go foul. So 2-2 still is the count as he has to go back and try again. So he got close, but couldn't quite line up that hit to get one. If it would have been fair, would have been nice. Could have been at least an easy single, if not a double, depending on how fast he is. That one just gets out of the reach of Svoboda. Will be a single. So gets on base for the first time. And now Tommy Salgado is going to be coming up next. He's going to have a little more luck apparently because he had a single in the second, but he did strike out in the first. Actually, it was the third when he had the single. So would like to get another single or more in this at bat. So far, Paredes has had 6 strikeouts. As that one goes wide, it's going to be thrown to second for the steal attempt. Will be safe at second. Throw a little high, but still pretty much on target. Just could not get the swipe down before Tellez was able to get to the base. Meanwhile, that was a ball for Salgado. So the count is at 1-0. That one goes across, just been outside for the ball. Ball 2. Still nice weather, no clouds as this one comes across, and that's going to be same spot, same result. 3-0 for the count. Glad you're spending your afternoon with me on this Thursday. Is that one delivered, and it's going to be a strike. So that'll get it up to 3-1 for the count. That's what Paredes had to do, is get one across. Now maybe he'll chase on this one. Maybe he'll get it across. We'll see. Runner steals, and we'll go ahead and get the walk anyway. As he goes over to third, where is the pitcher, Tellez. So walk gets Salgado to first, and that'll put runners on the corners. With Duran coming up next, he had a walk last time and struck out the first time. And with no outs and runners on the corners, Rams trying to make the most of this opportunity with Duran. And a steal attempt, going to go ahead and get to the cutoff, which is going to be Paredes. Allow him to go to first, or second, I mean, as Tommy goes to second on that steal. Duran is still on to bat. It'll be 1-0. Duran with a 220 average as that one goes high for ball 2. He's had 9 hits, 6 runs, 12 RBI, a double, a triple, a home run, and he would, of course, love to do that again with 2 on. 10 walks and 18 strikeouts. Swung on a missed. Nice cut, but missed the ball. That will just be strike 1. So far, Lovington has had 2 in the second for runs, 4 in the 6th, and 2 in the 5th. Meanwhile, Portales has just had 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. So they're keeping it somewhat consistent. I'm sure they would like to get more, though, before this inning is out. That one goes across for the ball, 3-1. So Duran, the shortstop, at 3-1. He's had some action as well as some of those hits have been going his way. Being able to rally it over to first in time for some outs. Hit to third, and that is pulled over once again. Second time it has gone past his glove on a grounder. It will be 2 across as he tries for second, and looks like he's going to get the out as he kicked his leg up. And I think that was the reason why he was able to get that out. But it was still a single as he gets out at second off the extra run. 2 RBI, though, comes across, and that makes it 10-4 now, as it was Tellez and Salgado to come across. So Luscombe coming up next. Alex does get a piece of that one, as that first one is going to be foul. For 0-1. Struck out last time up was Alex, and for that did get walked and was the first run of the game for the Rams in the second. High and inside, may not have had to flinch, but he did anyway and got out of the way of that one quickly, which also is smart. If you don't do that and you get hit, you could be called out. So good, smart move. 1-1 is the call. Right now it's 74 pitches for Paredes. Now it's going to be jacked over to shortstop, unable to handle it, goes all the way out to center field and is picked up by Cam. And will be a single, RBI single for that.
Number 10, Caden Parrish.
So it looks like the Rams starting to get alive on their bats as well. Was there anybody on? No. So not an RBI single, just a single for Luscombe. Going to be up next is going to be Parrish, Caden Parrish, the right fielder. Struck out last time up and had an error to get on and was stranded at, got a hit and was given an error at third. This time around, though, ran before the throw and looks like he's going to be punched out as he tried to got caught stealing on that one. The Paredes had not thrown the ball yet and turned around, looked and saw the runner was going and threw it to second in time for the out. That is going to be out number 2. So nobody on right now, 2 outs, and Alex Steele, actually Caden Parrish. Let's see what he can do with the bat. Actually, that is not Parrish. No, it is Parrish. Is that one foul and to the left? So 1-1 is the count right now. That one goes across and will be a ball. 2-1 now for the count. So Caden Parrish once again trying to get something going with 2 out, nobody on. And so far 2 runs have come across for the Rams. That one's hit nicely as it goes off the end of his bat. Should be able to find, nope, actually I thought he was going to find the gap, but instead found the glove of Weezer. So that will be out number 3 as it goes fly out to left field. And that will end the inning, but not before a couple come across off of 2 hits, 3 hits actually. 3 hits come across, or 3 runs come across, or 2 runs come across off 3 hits. And nobody left on, no errors as we go to the top of the 6th. And there's still some life left in this Rams team. It is now 10-4, good buddy, as we go back and take a break. Be back to the top of the 6th here in just a moment as Lovington, of course, takes the bats right here on the Lee County News and Sports Network. So right now I've got unofficially 7 hits for the Rams, 4 runs, got 3 errors, and 4 left on base. So we're at the top of the 6th right now. Coming up next to bat will be Lovington. The first one up is going to be Mike Pondo. Pondo has been good once. He had a single in the 4th, and an awful wild pitch, got to 3rd, was stranded there. Had a fly out to right in the 3rd inning, and in the 1st had a infield out with a 6-3 for that 3rd out to end with a 3-up, 3-down. And ever since then, neither team has had the 3-up, 3-down situation. So let's go ahead and get Mike Pondo up. As let's see, I believe that is Tellez still throwing. Yes, indeed. So that is going to be hit cleanly, and it's going to be just over the head of 3rd, and that is going to be, of course, Luscombe for the single. Wasn't quite able to get there.
Up next, number 23, Juan Sepulveda.
And Pondo is able to get that single to start it all off. Now back to Sepulveda again. Juan has had a pretty good day with 3 singles and 2 runs coming in. He did get caught at first after they were trying to get an attempt to get another run come in, but got caught stealing at first as he tried to get back. And was the out number 3 for the 5th inning, or the 4th inning actually. Now it's going to be hit shallow, but played badly as both the second baseman and right fielder had come up crossed. Parrish was trying to get to it, and instead, though, did get the throw out at second.
Up next, number 5.
As it was Pondo who got caught on that one. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to get caught or not. But Sepulveda does get a single once again. So out 1 as we have 1 on, 1 out. Coming up next is going to be Sanchez. So yeah, thought it was going to be caught instead. Was not, was dropped. So that was actually an error, not a hit for Sepulveda, Juan. So the E9 gets him on though. As we have that throw looked like it was ball. So it is Patrick Sanchez up now. Checking over to first once again. And Tellez, a low one. As that is going to be a wild pitch. Could not see it. It's right behind him. As it is Sepulveda who gets to second. And again, it was Hogan who couldn't figure out where the ball was. It was just right behind him. And that happens from time to time. But right now, bunt attempt? No, he did not. Instead, we'll get the walk.
Up next to bat, number 19, Vicencio Lujan.
So Sanchez gets to first. It'll be Juan at second off of an error. And it'll be coming up next, Vicencio Lujan playing at right field. So 1 out, 2 on, and hit up high, and will be fouled as it goes behind us. Actually, maybe over our head, but definitely foul on that first one. Once again, Lovington softball in Goddard. TJ Miracle covering that one as that one goes inside. And close, but no, did not quite hit Lujan for the ball. 1-1. That one goes in the dirt for ball 2. So it is 2-1 on the count right now. Last time that Patrick came up, he did strike out for the first out for inning number 5. This one's going to be hit foul just barely as it was grounder to the right. So unable to get caught, but still foul. So 2-2 now for the count. So the ball was infield, had to get that, and is taken care of by the second baseman. That is, of course, going to be Price as he gets back to position. So 2-2 the count with 2 on and 1 out. And it is Tellez who still actually just goes back to second. Couldn't get it in time as Sepulveda there avoids the out. This time, though, has no chances. There's nobody in there to catch. Throws it high, and that'll be ball. Ball 3, that'll be a full count, 3-2. Cam Ocha is going to be up next. He's in the circle. So 2 on, 2 out, or 1 out. Swung on and fouled, and that'll be still a 2-2 count. .6:30, so we have just a little over, just under an hour to go before the sun sets, as it is causing shadows, but not really a major factor. This time around, though, we'll load up the bases on that walk. As Lujan takes first, it'll be Sanchez at second, and at third, Juan. And then now we've got, let's see, coming up next, Cam. And he has gotten on a couple of times, has not scored. No, he scored last inning, so he did score off the error. And that first one goes across for the strike. Strike 1, 0-1 for the count. Tellez has had a strikeout in the last inning. That was 4 for him, as that one goes high and foul and out of play. So the count now 0-2, and Elijah ahead of the count on Cam. Once again, 0-2 for the count. 1 out, 2 on. Actually, bases loaded. So any hit will get at least 1 RBI. And that is going to be hit, but that's not the one as it goes foul again to the right. Well out of play. Count stays at 2-2, or 0-2. Elijah now at 90 on the pitch count. Let's see, 99. Oh, so he's over 100, I believe. That one goes across for the strike, and that'll be his 5th, or 5th, yes. Strikeout. He'll be out number 2 with the bases loaded. And of course, Tellez wants to protect everything, doesn't want to get any more runs in. It's already a 6-run lead. If he gets 4 more, and that'll be 10, and that could be the end of the game, or at least end it early. First one goes across for the strike. So Elijah, even though he's had a lot of throws over 100, actually that was number 100, is looking a little sharp right now, as it is Paredes. And he hits this one, and it's going to go to center. And he camps into that one for Novak and is able to get that out, number 3. So did what he needed to do, got out of the inning, and saved the runs. No runs hit, even though the bases were loaded. So 3 left on base with 1 error. And it was 1 hit allowed for Lovington. And once again, no runs come across. So we have score of 10-4, 6-run lead for Lovington as the Rams come across and try to get their bats going again at the bottom of the 6th right here as we continue coverage on No Mark Broadcasting Network. So Rigo Huguin is coming up next. He'll be the first batter for the bottom of the 6th. Now Rigo had a single in the last, had scored, and also struck out in the second. And with this starting in the bottom of the 6th, would like to get something started with his bat against the sophomore, Paredes. So far, Paredes has had 6 strikeouts. That first one goes across for the ball. So 1-0 is the count right now for the catcher. That one goes foul to the right. Out of play, and count will be 1-1. Coming up in the weekend, we still have a few more games to go for District and Lee County, and of course you can always find out about that on Facebook as that one goes. We rounded over to shortstop, handed over to first, and let's see if he got that in time as he delivered it over there with the throw, and he did. So that's out number 1 with the 6-3.
Up next to bat, number 1, Jacoby Bamford.
So Banforth, Jacoby this time, as there's 2 of them, but I don't think that John has been playing so far. Of course, he's a freshman, but nevertheless, it is Jacoby up next. Also a freshman, actually, so that's no count. This first one hauled off, and it'll be outside for the ball. Jacoby has not scored, but he did get a single last time up. It flew out to short in the second. So catches the corner on that one, as I think that was a little warning for the Rams. It's quick, but actually no, that was a ball. I thought there was a signal there, but it was a ball. So 2-0 for the count. That one flung high for ball 3. So 3-0 the count. 1 out, nobody on. Inside, that'll be ball 4.
Up next to bat, number 7, Truett Price.
So Truett Price coming up next. Truett has been on second base today, but he had a short flat to short earlier, and also a flat to center in his first at bat. So with 1 on and one out. Would like to see if he can get something going with his bat and get some RBI as well. At least he's got one opportunity right now. But definitely would like to get his average better. As he hits this one high and foul. For strike one. Once again, Price has a average of 182. That one again delivered, hit to the left, or right this time, and foul again. So already behind the count. Price is at 0-2. So one out, one on, delivered, and just far enough to get out to get the ball call. We go to 1-2. Looks back to first. No attempt. No needed because he already got back to first. And that was Jacoby as that one gets delivered across once again for the ball. Trying to get him to chase a little bit too. Swing and miss on that one. It did not this time around, and it is now 2-2. Timeout as he steps out of the box. Jacoby checking his swing, confident about that. Now gets back into the box. As he hits this one, it'll be high from Spadovida, trying to get it over to second in time, but instead threw it just a little too high. And we'll get the fielder's choice for a safe call for Price as that advances Jacoby to second. So it'll be Angel Gutierrez coming up next. Looks like he's going to be hitting for Novak. Novak has had 2 strikeouts. So as they look back to second in no throw attempt, it'll be Gutierrez who's hitting 111. First one goes across for the ball. This is Angel's first time at bat today as that goes across, and looked like it would have been a swing on that one. In any case, strike one. So for Angel, he's had 3 hits, 4 runs this season, along with 9 RBI, and that one's a swing and a miss for strike 2. 1-2 is the count. Continuing with his numbers, Gutierrez has had 2 doubles, a triple, and 16 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 3 hit by pitch. That one goes low for the ball. 2-2. So with 2 on and 2 out, Gutierrez trying to get something going with the bat, and there it goes. As he gets past first into the outfield, we picked up by Lujan, and that'll be an RBI single for Angel as Gutierrez is able to get that single going and also score Bamforth. So now looks like there could be a pitching change or just a conference. Either way, let's find out here in a second as we go ahead and take a break. We're going to be continuing coverage right here on Nomadic Broadcasting Network. While we have this meeting or moment of timeout, let you know about other games that are going on. Carlsbad was playing, Hobbs was playing Carlsbad in Hobbs in softball, and the 13-11 Hobbs team fell to Carlsbad at 19-6 by a score of 9-5. Once again, Jal was able to beat Dora 16-1. They had a forfeited game of 2 before because Dora wasn't able to field a team. Meanwhile, it looks like it is going to be a new change of pitcher on the mound for Lovington. And as he warms up, it'll be the catcher, Mike Pondo. We've seen him relieve before. Let's see what his numbers are. 6.46 ERA. He's at 0-1 for his record. 8.2 innings pitched as he gets into this one. With 8 hits allowed, 11 runs. He's got an ER of 8. Walked 7. He's also struck out 19 and has allowed 1 home run. So the only question is who is catching. I do believe that is McKillop. And that's usually what happens, as or at least that's what happened last time. So it'll be McKillop. And that is number 14, Cole McKillop, the senior, going to be catching.
Up next to bat for the Rams, number 17, Elijah Tellez.
So Elijah Tellez, top of the order once again. Going to see what he can do with his bat. Last time up, got a single and ended up scoring. That helped the cause for the Rams. With 1 on, actually 2 on, and 2 outs. Or 1 out. 2 on and 1 out. Wants to see if he can continue getting another hit and maybe even a couple of RBI. Inside on that one from the relief pitcher, Pondo. And his first one goes to ball. 1-0 is the count. As Cole is catching, it is going to go over to second. Be an out at second. Actually, it would be the shortstop who rallied it over to second for the 6-4.
Up next to bat, number 8, Tommy Salgado.
And the fielder's choice gets Tellez to first and also advances Price to third. And with 2 outs and runners on the corners, it's going to be a steal attempt, and it's going to go ahead and get it to Pondo, who cuts it off so that way there's no attempt at home to steal. But it is Elijah who gets to second, no problem. Meanwhile, once again, Tommy Salgado at bat, and he has, with that foul ball, 1-2 count. Oh, that's right, out. And that is going to be caught at right field, and that is Lujan to catch it for out number 3 as Thomas hits it to the right. And that is going to end the inning. 1 more to go as we get to the top of the 7th, and it is going to be 1 run comes across for the Rams. Make that a 10-5 game, as it was also, let's see, had a hit and 2 left on base. That's right, 2 left on base. 1 hit, 1 run, and no errors. We go to the top of the 7th, and it could be the final one for both sides as Lovington comes up to bat right here on the Nomart Broadcasting Network. Hey, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Actually, let's go ahead and do a recognition of our sponsors, without who, of course, we would not be able to do these games. Talking about Lasco Construction, Stone All Services, along with Napa Auto Parts. That'll be Bob's Thriftway, along with EP&S. Got you with Battle. And that is Master Plumbers, along with First American Bank and Lovington Schools. And can't read that last one, but it is definitely part of it. We're on KZOR, possibly on Facebook page. I'll check that out as we continue the coverage right here on Nomart Broadcasting Network. All right, we are back. Top of the seventh as the in the seventh inning stretch here in a moment. But first up for Lovington is going to be Jude Madrid. Jude had a single last time up, was able to get to third, was stranded there after a steal to second. Also had an out at, actually struck out. Actually, it would change the numbers on the strikeouts. It'd be 4, and then and there has been a change in pitch, looks like, as that'll be
Up first to bat, number 3, Jude Madrid.
Morgan Novak going to be pitching for Portales. Talleas has had a pretty good game, but is not going to be relieved by Novak. First one's going to be a swing and a miss on that one as it goes across, of course, for, oops, wrong side. Jude Madrid. Ball 1 on that one, so 1-1 is the count right now for Madrid. Playing shortstop. And Novak, once again with the relief, gets a low ball on that one and goes ball 2. So start of the seventh, nobody on, no outs for Madrid. As this delivery from Novak gets swung on and hit for foul. Grounded and makes it 2-2. Luckily, didn't hit anybody. Let's see what Novak has got to offer if we can get a second. Novak has 11.02 ERA as he delivers that one across. And we'll ring him up as he watches it go by for strikeout number 1 for Novak. So he has pitched 13.1 innings so far with 38 hits allowed, 37 runs, 21 ER. Has given up 7 walks, but that is number 10 on the strikeouts. And nicely done, too, for the first out of this inning. Top of the order now as it gets hit off foul for Gutierrez. 0-1 is the count. So Gutierrez has had some opportunities. Got a single in the last at bat. Was stranded at first, though. Had a triple in the 4th. And to continue things going, this one's going to be hit, grounded over to shortstop, flung it over to first, and in time for the 6-3. As it is Gutierrez who was not able to leg that one out. 2 down so far in the 7th. So 2 outs, nobody on, and coming up next is going to be Weezer. Weezer had a fly out last time up to center. Just a bit outside, but it still hit foul. That one was a high riser on that one. And Ryan went ahead and hit it anyway for the foul. Strike 1. So far, Novak is doing what he needs to do as a relief pitcher and getting these outs quickly. 2 up so far for a third one, and looks like that'll be inside low for a ball. 1-1 is the count right now. Low for ball 2. So it puts the count at 2-1 for Ryan. As it is Morgan Novak, the senior, throwing, and that'll be like a hit by pitch on that one, as we're at 2-1. So he advances to first for Weezer, and Ryan is happy to be on base. He hadn't been on since the 4th.
Number 12, Mike Pondo.
So the relief pitcher is coming up now, Mike Pondo. As he has 2 outs, though, with 1 on. And it is going to be Weezer once again at first. Throws it across, and it is a ball as it does not find the corner for the strike. So 1-0 is the count. Looking back over first. Gets a signal, goes ahead and throws to first. Thought he might. It looked like it was taking a little longer than normal to get that throw. And one of the times that, or some of the times that happens is when you don't like what the catcher is giving you, and so you throw to first to buy time. The lights are coming on now. Swung on inside, and that'll be foul to the left. Foul number, well, strike number 1. So 1-1 is the count right now. 7 o'clock is what we've got for the time. Again, want to thank everybody for, I know there's a lot of things to do tonight, and of course you can always watch this anytime after this game on our No Mark Broadcasting Network, whether it be on HopsAmerica.com or on YouTube. That was hit left just past third, and of course that'll be Luscombe and into the outfield. Now it'll be to the right or left field to Jacoby. It'll be a nice single for Pondo. So Pondo at first. It'll be at second will be Weezer with the 2 outs. And Ryan there. As coming up next is going to be Sepulveda. You know, when I think about it too hard, then that's when I mess it up. So Juan's going to be coming up, and it'll be, he got an error last time, but he has had hits of singles before that. That one goes high for ball 1. Sepulveda. So 2 on, 2 outs, first and second. Juan on. Threatened to look at second, but instead we'll throw inside, and that'll be ball 2. So Juan with a 2-0 count. As it is just a 5-run lead for the Wildcats, but still 5 runs, nicely done. As this team struggled against Artesia. And both sides, though, of course, when I get out of that slump. 8-game loss for the Rams, 4-game losing streak for the Wildcats. And by the way, the Wildcats come into this game with a bit of a losing streak against this Portales team. 3 in a row. Also, as that one goes across for a strike, a swing and a miss. And that'll be 2-2 now for the count. Portales does own this series so far at 18-35. Cole. Oh, yeah. Oh, I said the wrong thing, didn't I? So that's Cole instead of Sepulveda. I thought so. I thought it was a little skinnier, but I wasn't quite paying attention. So Cole, McClelp is up and swings on that one. Puts it at full, 3-2. Or no, actually swung in. Or is that the strikeout? I think it was a strikeout, but I thought it was a strikeout as it was a full count. I don't know. Let's see, where are we at? Sanchez. Okay. Oops, wrong one. That's a full count of 3-2. As Novak still on the mound, just barely got on as a relief pitcher. Looks back to second, but nobody there to catch it, so no threat. As that was Weezer at second and Pondo's at first. Fouled again. Continue the count at 3-2. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and check around to see what's going on in Lee County sports. Dell was able to dismantle Dora in the second game, 24-0. Gets their record up to 12-12. Swing and a miss on that one. That'll be strike 3 for Cole McKillop. That's who was batting at that time, not Spolvita. And actually, that is going to be out number 3. So we had left on base 2, no errors. I believe we had a hit. Yes, we did. 1 hit and no runs come across. We are going to the bottom of the 7th, and the Rams need 5 to tie and 6 to win. We'll be doing that back in a moment right here as we continue coverage on No Mark Broadcasting Network. All right, we are back to action as we're about to get underway with Adam Duran coming up first to bat for the Rams. Bottom of the 7th, and that is going to be shortstop. Now, the shortstop was called out at second, caught on a hit. But did actually, no, that was a run. He was trying to catch, he caught the single, but he tried to stretch it out to double. It was caught at second. Also got walked in the third and struck out in the first. Right now he's got the count of 1-0. And a quick delivery gets a strike call, so 1-1. As once again, the catcher, now pitcher, Mike Pondo, swung on and missed, and may have gotten a piece of that. Either way, though, it's going to be strike number 2. 1-2 is the count. So we still have a doubleheader tomorrow in Lovington against this squad, this Ram squad. And it'll be covered again. And this one's going to be hit to center right. Actually, it's going to be caught by the right, center fielder. And that'll be by Cam Ocha. So first one's a fly out for number 1. 1 down, 2 to go for the Wildcats. As once again, they're trying to break that 4-game losing streak. The Rams have the 8-game losing streak. Coming up next is going to be, looks like that's Luscombe, and it is. So first one goes across for the ball. So 1-0 is the count right now, as we have him, let's see, last time he did get the single, once again got caught stealing at second. And it could have been more scores for the Rams. Got a strikeout in the third and walked in the second. One goes across for the ball 2 call. Alex holding his own so far, as it is 1 out, nobody on, and that one goes across. Didn't flinch. Looks like he got hit by that pitch, so hit by a pitch, and will take his base at first. So used to having him ask the batter if they're okay, and I guess it doesn't always happen. But coming up next is going to be Parrish, Caden Parrish, right fielder. Now he's going to be hit hard, and we find the gap in the middle between center and right, and that is going to go ahead and get runners, and actually it was a single, but he stretches it out to a double. So Parrish with a single, and the Alex at third now, and Caden to second with one out. So a little bit of hitting going on still as the Rams still cling on to life, down by 5. Rigo with that first one coming across. That'll be a strike. As he has had very little success last time, had an infield out. Second one's going to be in the strike too, as Pondo is getting a little better with his pitches. 0-2 though for the count with one out. Now it goes across low though for the ball. So 1-2 is the count. Goes across and caught it on the corner for the strike. And that'll be his first strikeout of this game and out number 2. Or no, number 1. That was out number 2. So 2 outs, and Jacoby Bamforth trying to see if he can get one of those 2 runners, or maybe both of those, to come across. But 2 balls already delivered by Pondo. And quickly, 3 balls now as it goes across. So these pitches fast, but they're not fooling anybody at all, as Jacoby is sitting there, the freshman, waiting. But that time, though, hit foul to the left. So 3-1 is the count. Pondo with that to McKillop. Going to go ahead and get the ball 4. And that is going to load the bases, as the other 2 runners were at second and third already, so didn't have to run. So Truett Price is going to see what he can do, as he's been on base but has not been able to score. Flew out twice to short and to center. That one goes across, swing and a miss for strike 1. Brings up that one for the ball 1, so that'll be 1-1 for the call. Count at 1-1 with bases loaded and 2 outs. You know they're going to run, as that one goes across for ball 2. So 5 runs, and if they all score, that'd be just a 1-run lead for Lovington, as that one goes across for the strike. 2-2 now. And Mike, another delivery inside this time around, and it's going to be a wild pitch. Going to go ahead and try to get the runner in, and does on that wild pitch. And advances the other 2 as well. So a slide in, didn't need to, but nevertheless did so for dramatic reasons. And it gets the run in for Alex, and gets it down to 4 now, as once again the runners do advance to second and third respectively. So Parrish at third, it'll be Bamforth at second, and still Price at bat with a full count. Could load the bases without scoring anybody, and that will be strike 3. And that's also going to be out number 3 as well. So ended it up with a strikeout against Price to end this game. Final score is going to be 10-6, a 4-run lead. So Rams played well, but they're going to be playing them again tomorrow, as they're going to be heading over to Lovington for a doubleheader. We'll be talking about more about this game and more as we continue coverage right here on No Mark Broadcasting Network. All right, we are back as once again this game ends 10-6. And it is in 7 innings. So for the record, Lovington goes to 12-12, 500 of the season so far, with 2 more games tomorrow in Lovington against this Portales squad. They're 2-5 in district, and they break the 4-game losing streak at now their win of 1 in a row. Portales, ranked at number 22, is now at 3-15, 0-7 for the district, and a 9-game losing streak with a home record of 0-6. Both sides did a very good job, but Lovington with that big inning in the 4th just could not be overcame. In fact, actually that was 6 runs in the 4th to get them the victory of the day. So coming in for relief was Pondo, but it was Paredes who got the victory, and it was Tejas with the loss for the Rams. Nope. So looking at the standings right now with both sides, Portales at 22. It is Tejas at number 21, ranked number 21. Aztec at 20, looking up to Lovington, ranked at number 14 with their 11-12 record. Do have a positive of 3.6 winning, and that could help them get past Chaparral. Right now, Chaparral, up until today anyway, had a record of 13-11. 4.9 was their rating, and 3.3 was their strength of schedule. So Lovington with slightly better strength of schedule, although this game may not help them too much with their strength and the rating though. Chaparral with a higher rating at 4.9 versus Lovington at 1.96. But they are doing a lot better than Bernalillo. Bernalillo came into this day with 11-13 for their record, 0.79 for their rating, and 2.2 for their strength of schedule. So no chance that Bernalillo is going to be able to take over Lovington. And it was Santa Teresa who comes in this day with 17-6. So they're going to be well ahead of Lovington as far as the rankings at number 12. With a 7.73 rating and strength of schedule at -1.3. Of course, Artesia at number 1 still. St. Pius is going to be at number 2. Albuquerque Academy sits at number 3. Grants is at number 4. Deming at 5. Belen at 6. Los Alamos sitting at number 7. Bloomfield at 8. Hope Christian at 9. And Valley sitting at 10 with a losing record of 12-13. But their strength of schedule is what gets them there at 8.3. All right, that should be it for today as we continue coverage. Once again, it'll be tomorrow, doubleheader against this Portales Rams squad. TJ Miracle will be bringing all the action, and should be a good one at home. Doubleheader once again. It starts at, I believe at 4:30. Let me double check to make sure I got the time right on that one. As you never know about these games, sometimes they do change because of the weather. But last time I checked, it is 5 o'clock, and of course the other game will be afterwards around 7 or later for those two squads to happen. Also, let's see, just to make sure we got all the games for Lee County covered. Of course, it was Carlsbad, unfortunately, beating Hobbs at home in Hobbs, and that was a 9-5. Dora once again loses to both of those games to Jow, after they had to forfeit a couple of those. And the final score, first one was 16-1. Second game was 24-0. Of course, also tomorrow is going to be senior night for Lovington. And it will be senior night tonight for the Portales Rams. Looking around to see if there's any others. I don't see any updates for Lovington and Goddard. And it is Artesia who was able to beat Goddard in baseball in Goddard by the score of 5-0. So they're still looking good and strong. Actually, let's go ahead and get you some stats. Starting off with the senior Ocha, who had 2 runs off of 1 hit, RBI as well, 1 RBI. It was hitting 250. It was Weezer, came in 4 of 5 with 1 run, 2 hits, a double. Jude Madrid, the 8th grader, had a good day too with 2 RBI off a hit. It was Gutierrez, and that he had 2 hits, 1 RBI, and 1 run. Patrick Sanchez came in with 2 of 3, 2 hits, and 2 runs. Actually, it was 3 of 4. It was Paderes who came in with 1 RBI, no hits, no runs though, but did get the RBI. Mike Pondo with 3 hits, 1 RBI. Cole McKillop came in for 1 time, wasn't able to hit anything at all. That's all right. It was Fidencio Lujan coming in, 2 of 4, hitting 500 with 2 runs off of 1 hit, 1 RBI as well. And it was Juan Spadovia who came in, got 2 of 4 with 3 hits, 3 singles. I guess that wasn't an error. Nevertheless, though, Lovington comes in, gets 15 hits, 10 runs, 7 RBI, 1 double, and that was it for them, as it was also, let's see, the pitching showed Paredes with 5.1 innings pitched, and it was Pondo with 1.2 innings pitched. So allowed 5 runs for Paredes. Pondo, on the other hand, just allowed 1 run off of 1 hit. Paredes had 7 hits. And that is going to be it for now. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you very much to TJ Miracle, who had the other game for the softball. I covered for him today. Also got to thank Tiff Stuber and the rest of everybody who watched today. This is Ron Gunner. Thank you very much. You have yourselves a great day. Tomorrow, once again, a doubleheader against this Rams team. And it'll also be senior night as well. Take care of yourselves and enjoy your Thursday.